Whew, feels like it's been a long time, but Mazda is finally opening up just a tiny bit about their inline 6 engines, their hybrid rotaries, and even some new diesels. What is going on there? Hey Kirk, do we got a spreadsheet on that today? Great, yeah, spreadsheet day today. Acura's NSX is going a little retro for 2021, and Kia's sales are burning hot with the Niro in Europe. Get that? It's burning, yeah. Welcome back, Lexurious Fleet. If you're new, my name's Kirk. I talk about Japanese and Korean autos, and yeah, just subscribe. Let's get to 100,000 and let's roll into today's news. Over at Car Throttle, here's our first look at Mazda's all-new inline 6. And we have images of Mazda's new developed, longitudinally mounted straight 6, and it has appeared in the company's Q3 financial presentation. And we don't have official images, I guess, that have been communicated to us. These are just extrapolated from the slideshow presentation for their Q3 financial update. However, we can see on the left here, this is what I feel is the inline 6 engine. Again, there's nothing telling us what's going on here, so I'm going to give you my thoughts. Inline 6 here on the left, and that's the block for it. Okay, I think this is inline 6 diesel over here on the right, and then in the middle it could be a new Skyactiv X, longitudinally mounted Skyactiv X. You can see here, obviously this would be the transmission going to a rear-wheel drive shaft. And these are all going to have, of course, all-wheel drive capabilities. Here's another clip from the slideshow. Investment for raising brand value, foundation building the next 2 years. Don't expect any new Mazda products for the next 2 years. It's going to be the same old until 2023. So that's, I guess, 3 years from now. It just depends. We haven't gotten the official information. But they're developing a high power, low CO2 hardware, large product, multiple electrification technologies. So longitudinal architecture. More than likely, the longitudinal architecture would be for the CX-5, CX-9, CX-7 for some market. I think there might be a CX-8 in some markets as well. Of course, Mazda 6. Don't know about the Mazda 3. I think they might try to keep that a little bit more compact and keep that horizontally mounted, like the CX-30, the Mazda 3 for certain markets. If they keep that around, the Mazda 2 for certain markets, of course, would be horizontally mounted, but a large portion of their lineup going forward is going to be longitudinally mounted, which is exciting. It's going to give you a lot better handling with an inline 6 engine, all of that engine mass lined up with the center of the body. Breaking information here for me anyways. I've hypothesized on a Skyactiv X and the Skyactiv G, Turbo G really, like we have the Turbo 2.5 liter 4-cylinder that we see in a lot of Mazda products, pretty much all of them nowadays. And then I didn't expect them to go forward with diesel. Well, they're going to have an inline 6 diesel. We know they're not the only ones going forward with diesel. We've heard that Toyota has a 3.3 liter TNGA diesel that they're working on. And of course, all-wheel drive. Third point here, electrification, plug-in hybrid, 48 volt mild hybrid. Well, I think the 48 volt mild hybrid is standard on any Skyactiv X going forward. It has to have that in order to operate correctly. I don't know if they would do mild hybrids on the Skyactiv Turbo Gs. They could do it if they wanted to. Plug-in hybrid is going to be, my theory, reserved for the MX-30 sort of technology, where you have a rotary engine. And here's the engine set up down here with a multiple electrification. So it's a mild hybrid plus a plug-in hybrid. So that's what they mean by multiple electrification in one setup. So this would be the setup for the multiple electrification. I believe this is the rotary here on the right. Long live the rotary. Rotary's not going anywhere anytime soon. Guys, you know what time it is? Spreadsheet time. Let's go. All right, so I made this a while back, but I added the new Skyactiv D inline 6. Now, based off of the Skyactiv that is in some markets, it's pretty much dead. I think they're trying to bring it back in America, but if they have clean diesel, they could easily bring the 3 liter Skyactiv D here to America. Of course, it would go in a lot of markets like Australia that aren't as emission strict. But this new Skyactiv D inline 6 could have around 260 horsepower and a whopping 450 pound-feet of torque. It would be really cool to see in the BT50 it would be even cooler to see the BT50 pickup truck come to America with this killer diesel in it. Can you imagine? Throw a 6-speed manual in there as well. Sign me up. I could see it in some of the larger Mazda products as well, CX-9, CX-5, Mazda 6. Now, here is the Skyactiv G inline 6 turbo. Now, I'm expecting minimum 325 horsepower, 400 pound-feet of torque. They could also twin turbo this, and we could see it in these vehicles as well as the CX-5. I could also see it in Lexus models because Lexus going forward, I expect to share platforms and engines with Mazda. Not entirely, but I think it's in the cards, and I think it would be really, really cool. And then the standard Skyactiv, well, it's not a standard, Skyactiv X, inline 6, respectable power, not the most torque, but it's going to get almost 50 miles per gallon. Let that sit in. 265 horsepower and 47, potentially 47 miles per gallon, and we could see this in a plethora of products, but really it would only be in the products that are rear-wheel drive based or all-wheel drive based off the rear-wheel drive platform. So that would be the Mazda 6, CX-5, CX-7, 8, whatever they have in different markets, and well as the CX-9, maybe the BT50. It would just be so amazing for them to bring it to America. Now, it may be tough for them to put the Skyactiv diesel inline 6 in the BT50 because I think technically it's in a Isuzu D-Max or something. We don't get that truck here either in America. But guys, I need to move on. We have other news to talk about. Acura here has a new NSX color, and it's embargo until 12 o'clock today, so that's when this video will go up, my time anyways. 2021 Acura NSX celebrates motorsports and heritage in Long Beach Blue Pearl, and this color joins Berlina Black as well as Indy Yellow as the latest NSX heritage paint offering. This commemorates Acura's title sponsorship of the iconic Grand Prix in Long Beach. And the 2021 NSX now available for order. If you guys are wondering, we'll have prices on it as well, but it's available for order. We'll be delivering early next year. The original Long Beach Blue, that's a tongue twister for me, Long Beach Blue, is one of the rarest colors applied to the first generation NSX. Only 88 cars painted in the color during the 4 years it was available from 02 to 05, and Long Beach Blue replaced Monaco Blue Pearl offered in 2000-2001. Okay, we're just going to look at some of the options here. I've never looked at a spec sheet, I guess option sheet in like an NSX brochure or anything. I love that Acura share this information because it's just fascinating. Base MSRP is $157,000, and that's before destination and handling. So add about $2,000 to that. So you're about $160,000, roughly $160,000 before you start adding on some deliciousness. So if you want the new Long Beach Blue Pearl, that's going to be additional $1,000. But there's more expensive colors. The Valencia Red Pearl and the Nouvelle Blue Pearl are more expensive colors and going to run you $6,000 each. Exclusive interwoven, polish painted, or machine finish, that's an additional $1,500. If you want the Pirelli Trofeo R tires, that's another $1,500. If you want some paint on your calipers that's not black, it'll cost you $700. But if you want the carbon ceramic brakes with black calipers, that's about $10,000. But if you want them in different colors, let's say you're getting the Valencia or whatever, the thermal orange pearl, or I should say the thermal orange metallic, and you wanted the orange calipers to go with it, well, that's going to run you $10,600 with the carbon ceramic brakes. Very interesting. Now, if you want the carbon fiber deck lid spoiler, it's a modest $3,000. The most expensive option here out of all of them is the gloss carbon fiber exterior sport package with carbon fiber engine cover. That sounds pretty badass, but it's going to run you almost $13,000 for that option. If you want semi-aniline full leather 4-way power seats, $1,000. And then the last option here, because the audio is standard, the aluminum pedals are standard, carbon fiber interior sport package will run you $3,800. If you guys were speccing out your NSX, well, now you have all the pricing, the breakdown, as well as some new colors. Long Beach Blue Pearl, and Acura continues to impress with their paint colors. Definitely an evolution of the first generation NSX, for good or for bad, for whatever that's worth. I'll see in the comments on the NSX. And over at Motor One, Toyota GR Yaris all-wheel drive hot hatch goes 0 to 60 in 5.3 seconds. Here's Matt Watson from CarWow love his channel, look up to him. He's kind of an inspiration to me, but he is just a phenomenal entertainer and good presenter. Making up words today, guys. But yeah, he got the GR Yaris go 0 to 60 in 5.3 seconds. There's no launch control. I mean, it's a manual transmission, so you got to be like a wizard to launch this thing. But it could be even faster in a perfect situation, a perfect driver. But just felt like sharing that. I thought that was interesting. Doesn't detract me anyway of being interested in the GR Yaris, which we'll never get here in the States. Moving forward, Lexus Newsroom driveway moment celebrated in Lexus December to Remember campaign. It's that time of year, guys. It's November, December, early January. Even though it spans 3 months, it's still December to remember. And this is Lexus's big campaign of the year. They sell a lot of units. They have good incentives, as a lot of the manufacturers do. But Lexus is known for the December to remember. All right, everyone knows the big red bows on the car. A lot of people pretty much copied it. This is the 21st year of the December to remember. And you guys are welcome to check out the link in the description. You can click on birthday and graduation. They're both promo videos for December to remember. And you can find driveway moments, which are going to be on NFL, college football, English Premier League, and Lexus is partnering with Roku. So yeah, you'll be able to find those commercials on broadcast. If you just want to watch them, though, you can just click these links. Kia NERO is burning down the UK, becomes a best-selling electric car in the UK in October. Kia Motors announced in mid-October that it recorded its best ever quarterly European sales during the third quarter of 2020. Keep that in mind. It's a COVID year, and they just had the best ever quarterly European sales. They're doing something right there. They sold almost 133,000 units between July and September. That's a 10% year-over-year growth across the EU and the EFTA and the UK, because the UK is, Brexit, they're on their own thing. Hybrids and EVs made up more than 1 in 4 Kia sales across Europe during the third quarter. The Kia NERO, fully electric, had exceeded that of all other EV vehicles. That's kind of redundant because EV has vehicle in it, electric vehicles. You know what I'm saying? In October in the UK, a total of 833 NEROs were delivered to the UK customers in October, counting for roughly 9% of all EV sales within the UK for the month. Extrapolated that data, and they sold a total of about 9,400, give or take a few units, of electric cars in the UK, and the Kia NERO made up 9% of that, which is 833 units. So very impressive, very impressive. And this is a vehicle most of us wouldn't think twice about here in the United States. It's probably not available in most of the United States, like the Hyundai Kona Electric is not available largely in most states in the United States, but it's very interesting. The Teslas sell like hotcakes here, and in Europe, it's kind of they have more competition there. I feel like, since it's America, I guess Americans feel like it's the cool thing to do to get a Tesla. I don't know. It's just a different culture over there, and they're more accepting of different brands for their electric vehicles compared to the EV buyers here. Seem to be more hung up on the Teslas than anything else. Now, 520 of these NEROs were fleet vehicles, with the remaining 313 delivered to retail customers. That's interesting, right? So I don't know what the incentives are. If that was a little scratchy for you guys in front of the microphone, I'm sorry. I don't know what the incentives are for companies to buy electric cars as fleet vehicles. You must get like a huge tax write-off or something for over half of the models to be sold commercially compared to retail to your average Joe around the block. So I thought that was particularly telling. Across Europe, the NERO family of vehicles contributed to about 55,600 units during the third quarter. That's impressive. Australia is waiting for the NERO to land on its shores and burn them down. They already have their fire problems. They don't need a NERO burning them down. Gosh, Rome's still suffering. Got some motorcycle news. Honda announces 7 more additions to its comprehensive 2021 European motorcycle lineup. So they have updated these motorcycles. Let's start from left to right. The SH mode, SH350i, PCX 125, X Adventure, which is this one. We have the NC750X, and then these 3 bikes I believe we get here in the United States. I'm not so sure on these on the left, but we have the CB1000R, cafe racer sort of bike, and then its little brother here, CB125R. Also in the, gosh, I don't know if I was, CB125R is the same thing as a Honda Grom, but it looks way more serious. It looks like a much bigger bike than what it is. It's probably based off the Honda Monkey 2. I don't think we get that in the United States, but we get the CB300R, which is a good looking bike in its own right. So I'm a big fan of their Neo retro sport city bikes. I think they're good, but I'm not going to go too much into any of these. Like I said, we don't get in America, but I just like to talk about motorcycles, and I will feature them more on the channel going forward. And more motorcycle news, 2021 Yamaha MT-09 SP. Last week I talked about the MT-09 getting a displacement bump, power bump, quick shifter, new LCD screen, upgraded suspension, etc. Well, there's a range topping model, which is the SP, and that information has come out today. So we're over at Ultimate Motorcycling, and we're going to read the quick specs on this. So you get an upgraded suspension, you get a new shock and fork, add 2 pounds to the package, bumping up the SP's curb weight to a still light 419 pounds. And you can see the additional kind of matte black on the frame. It looks pretty cool. I like it. I like the blue wheels. It's a sharp looking motorcycle. And in a lot of ways with these upgrades, it's like the MT-10 doesn't really excel much past this upgraded MT-09. Of course, it has considerably more power, but it's also still more expensive. So Öhlins provides the rear shock. You have an upgraded KYB fork in the front, and I thought this was really awesome. Cruise control is standard, which it's not at all on the MT-09 in any form unless you get this SP package. It has its own unique seat with double stitching, and there's plenty of extra black on the SP. The levers, the handlebar are anodized black, brake fluid reservoirs are clear smoked, and the rear sprocket is black. So the extra features on the SP raise the price to about $11,000. It's $1,600 more than the standard MT-09. Well, I would say it's probably worth it. You get cruise control and you get upgraded suspension. Okay, I think those are good reasons. On the standard version of the MT-09 will begin selling in the United States in January, and then the SP will arrive in March. So if you're in the market, it might be hard for you to wait a couple months for the upgraded SP. But that's all I have for news today, guys. I'll see you in the comments for Mazda finally giving us just a little bit more information. They're really just dangling a carrot in front of our faces when it comes to that, and we're still 2 to 3 years out of seeing that sort of inline 6 Skyactiv X turbos, etc., rear wheel drive. We're still 2 to 3 years out. Okay, it's gonna be tough. However, Mazda's vehicles as it is are very, very compelling. They're doing great in terms of sales in a pandemic year. Acura NSX, new color, but it's an old color and it looks cool. Don't know what else to say about it. I'll see you in the comments there. Motorcycle news, NERO continues to burn through Europe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far into the video, if you haven't pressed the like button, throw me a bone here, and subscribe if you're not. I'll see you guys, like I said, in the next video. Have a wonderful day, and peace out.